Myself Rajashekar, and you can call me Raj. Coming to my experience, I'm having totally 25 plus years of teaching experience and 16 plus years of real-time experience. And the course what we are going to discuss over here is full stack Java with AI. Before we enter into this full stack Java with AI course, let us understand what is full stack development using a diagram. What is the meaning of this full stack development? The meaning of full stack development over here is like when you go with an application, like example, if you take Gmail, when we type the URL www.gmail.com, it is going to show what username and password, right? It's going to ask you the username and password. The content what you are able to see on the browser window, the content what you are seeing on the browser window, we call it as printing. We call it as what? Printing. See here once we open Gmail, it will ask you the username and password, right? So here what it is going to ask you, the username and password, and we are going to have a login button. Here we go with the text fields where user is going to type the username and password and one login button. So the content whatever we display onto the browser screen, we call it as the front end. This we call it as what? Front end or UI design. And how to develop this front end is we make use of the web technologies. We make use of web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, like this. We can even use Angular or React. Anyone we use in the project, Angular or React. And the people who take care of developing this front end, we call them as front end developers. We call them as front end developers or UI developers. UI means user interface developers. Now, once we type our username and password here, like example, I'm entering Raj123 as username and Raj123 as the password. Once we enter our username and password, how can we know that this user is authenticated? How can we know this user is authenticated? Where our user details will be present? Where our user details will be present? In database, right? The user details are present where? In database. So here we require a database server where we store our user details. Here we'll be having the username and password details in our database. What is database? It is the storage media where we store our data permanently. Here it goes with the username and password. In my case, I'm just going with Raj123 as username and Raj123 as the password. Now, this we call it as database. This we call it as the database. Now, how to go with this database? We can make use of the database servers like MySQL. We can make use of Oracle. We can make use of SQL Server like this. Then the people who take care of this database part, we call them as database developers, or we can even say DBAs. DBA means database administrators. Now, from our front end, once we enter username and password, can we connect to this database directly? Can we connect to the database? No. So directly we cannot connect to this database. This is the place where we require the server-side programming. So this is the place what we require, server-side. We call it as server-side, or even we say backend. So what are the server-side technologies we are having? We are having related to, we can go with Java. Related to Java, we use servlets or JSP or Spring MVC. We can make use of .NET. Related to .NET, we use ASP.NET. We can make use of PHP. We can make use of Python. In Python, we make use of Django framework. So by using these server-side technologies from front end, what are the data we have entered in username and password? These details are given to the server. These details are given to the server, and server is going to read your data by using the technology, and these details are given to database to check whether that user is present in your database or not. Then these details are given back to the server, that is whether that user is present in the database or not. And based on that, it's going to give the response back on the browser. Means if the user is present in the database, it's going to display like inbox page or any other page, depends on the application. If the user is not authenticated, we'll say invalid credentials, right? Now, the people who take care of the server side, and if they are using Java technology, we call them as Java developers. We call them as Java developers. If they are using .NET, .NET developers. If they are using PHP, means PHP developers, Python developers, or even simple, we can call them as backend developers. We can even say backend developers. Right? Now the point is, the people who take care of the front end part, the people who take care of front end part, we call them as front end developers. The people who take care of backend, we call them as backend developers. The people who take care of database, we call them as database developers. The people who take care of the complete role, meaning front end, back end, as well as database, we call them as what? We call them as full stack developers. The people who take care of the front end part, back end part, and database part, we call them as full stack developers. So what is this full stack development? The meaning of full stack development is complete role. Means I should able to take care of the front end part. I should able to take care of the back end part, and we should able to take care of the database part. Complete role, complete development. This only we call full stack development. Clear all of you the meaning of full stack development? Any questions? These codes, this full stack Java with AI codes, I've divided into totally 8 modules. I've divided these codes in 8 modules. So module 1, we go with core Java. Module 2, we go with the artificial intelligence. Simple, you can say AI tools. Then module 3, we go with web technologies. Module 4, we go with the database concepts. Module 5, advanced Java. Module 6, very important one, that is frameworks. Module 7, we go with the real-time and DevOps tools. And module 8, we go with full stack Java project. We go with the project. Now, let us understand in detail about these modules, what we are going to see. First, module 1, what is that? Core Java. This core Java, we can even say Java SC. We can even call it as what? Java SC. Java SC stands for Java Standard Edition. Java SC stands for what? Java Standard Edition. And the main use of going with this standard edition is used to develop stand-alone or desktop applications. Used to develop standalone or desktop applications. So what is the example of standalone or desktop applications? Examples are like calculator, Word, Excel, Paint. These are all examples of standalone applications. Once we download and install on our local system, we need not connect to other system to run the application. That's the reason the name has come standalone applications. Under this core Java, we are going to discuss the concepts. Like initially we go with programming concepts. Whenever you want to learn any programming language like C language or Python or Java or .NET, we should have a basic idea on programming concepts so that entering into any programming language will be easy. So the first step what we are going to do in our course, I'm going to start with programming concepts, which I'm going to do in tomorrow's session. So that in third session, we can enter into Java very easily. The next one, we go with Java introduction and Java features. We are going to discuss about Java introduction and Java features. Then next one, we go with download and install Java 26 version. The latest version is 26 version. So we'll see how to download and install Java 26 version and how to develop applications. Okay. Next one, we go with download and install Eclipse IDE. So in our course, we are going to make use of Eclipse IDE to develop Java projects, Java applications. With this, we complete the introduction part of Java, like what is this Java, what are their features, and how to download the softwares, and how to develop the applications. Okay. The next, we go with Java basics. Java basics. In this basics, we'll learn the basic terminology of programming, like the meaning of comments, keywords, variables, data types, then operators, scanner class. It's a predefined class in Java to take input from user. Then we go with the if statement, switch statement, while loop, do while loop, for loop, like this. So this is the place where we go with more of programming. In this basics only, we'll improve our programming and logical skills. And once we start off with the basics, I'm going to give assignments also, which you need to do. Okay, whatever the assignments I'm giving, you need to try it from your end. Then, next one. Arrays. Can anyone say what is the use of arrays? What is the use of arrays? Whenever you want to collect the data, whenever you want to collect some elements, we make use of arrays. Arrays are used to collect the elements, multiple data. To hold multiple data, we make use of arrays. The next and very, very important one is Java OOP, means object oriented programming. This is the main base for our Java. If you are good with object oriented programming, then only we can understand remaining topics of Java very easily. Right? In this object oriented programming, we will be learning about the meaning of classes, objects, this reference, constructors, static keyword, packages, inheritance, polymorphism. Then we go with the final keyword, super reference, inner classes, access modifiers, and encapsulation, abstract classes, and interfaces. So very, very important concept for us. This is the main base for our core part. If you are good with this, understanding remaining topics of Java will be very easy for us. So we are going to have a strong foundation at this area. Once we complete object oriented, we move to the next one, land package. The meaning of package in Java is a package is a collection of related classes. It's like a folder. Package is like a folder concept where we store related files. Now, in Java, package means it's a collection of related classes. It's like a folder only. In this package, we'll be learning about the predefined classes like object class, string class, string buffer class, string builder class, math class, and wrapper classes. Next, very, very important topic, exception handling. Exception handling. The meaning of exception is like a runtime error. Once it occurs, the application will get terminated. So it is a abnormal termination. Once exception occurs, the application will get terminated abnormally, which is not good programming. So to avoid that abnormal termination, we make use of exception handling to make our applications robust, strong enough. Next, multi-threading. Can anyone take examples of multitasking? What is the meaning of multitasking? Opening multiple applications. Like in my case, I've opened browser, Paint, Notepad, GoToMeeting like this. One more example, you are typing a document in Word and listening to the song simultaneously. That is multitasking. Then what is a thread? The meaning of thread is like it's part of one task. Like example, very good example like Gmail. If you take Gmail, Gmail is a task here. Inside that Gmail, I can open how many composed messages? Multiple. Every composed message, what we open Gmail, it is a thread. And when you are attaching the files, we can attach multiple files in Gmail. So every attachment is considered as threads. When attachments are going on, I can even type subject and body of message. When first attachment is going on, I need not wait to complete. I can even attach second, third like that. So the advantage is performance. We can increase performance of application. One more good example, this GoToMeeting. In this GoToMeeting, I can show the screen to you. I can record the class. I can speak with you. I can chat with you. Multiple things in one task. This only we call multi-threading. Next, very important one, collections. By using arrays also we can collect the data. By using collections also we can collect data. But the drawback of arrays are, when you go with arrays, we have to mention the size, how many elements you want to collect. Like example, if I say 100, we can collect maximum 100 elements only. We cannot increase the size or we cannot decrease the size. So that is the main drawback of arrays. But in reality, we cannot go with fixed sizes. That is a place where we go for collections. Next, we discuss about functional interfaces. Very important one. Lambda expressions, stream API for each method like this. Then, next, I cannot elaborate more on this now. Next, IO package. The meaning of IO is like input output. The need of going with IO package is like, whatever the programs we are writing up to now, the data what we use it during runtime, it is temporary because it is stored in RAM memory. And where we can store data permanently? In hard disk. Where we can store data permanently? In hard disk. Either in the form of data files, either we can store data in the form of data files or database tables. We can store data in the form of data files or database tables. So this IO package is mainly to manage the data files, to store data permanently. So these are the topics what we discuss under module 1 core Java, right? Okay. Next one. Next and very important module for our course, module 2, AI tools, artificial intelligence tools. In this, we will be learning about AI introduction. We'll go with AI introduction and we'll understand about large language models. We'll go with large language models, LLM, what we call. Then we'll go with the generative AI. And what is the need of, what is this generative AI? Whatever the AI we are using nowadays, it's all generative AI. What it can generate for us? It can generate text, it can generate code, it can generate images, it can generate icons, it can generate videos, it can generate audios. Okay, it can generate content generation like this. Then the next one we'll understand about prompt engineering. Very important. If you want to be good with AI means we should be good enough with prompt engineering. What is this prompt engineering? The efficient way to communicate with AI. Communicate efficiently or effectively with AI. So prompt engineering is the way to communicate with the AI tools. Then once we have done with this prompt engineering, we are going to learn the AI tools, like we'll be learning about ChatGPT, Claude AI, Gemini, Notebook LM, and we'll go with Perplexity AI. So these are the things what we are going to learn under module 2. And when I'm discussing this core Java only, I'll be start making use of these AI tools so that we'll have an idea from the beginning of the course. The next and one more thing, what we are going to learn over here is like AI for coding. AI for coding and debugging. Right? The next one. The next module, what we are going to see over here is module 3. Module 3, that is web technologies. Web technologies. So the need of this web technologies, even we call it as UI design or front-end design. UI design or front-end design. Now, so what is the need of going with this web technologies? Use it to display the content onto the web browser. So whenever you want to display some content onto the web browser, we make use of this web technologies. And in our course, we'll be learning the web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, TypeScript, XML, JSON, Angular, and even React. Also, I'm covering both the things. Angular and even React. Because we don't know when you go with the projects, whether they are making Angular or React. So in a project, we either use Angular or React only, not use both. React and is going to here so that you are good with both the things, and whichever you want to use in the project, we can use that. Then the next module is module 4. Module 4. This module we are going to discuss about database concepts using MySQL. We are going to see database concepts using MySQL. Here we'll be learning about introduction to databases and SQL. We'll be learning download and install MySQL database server. Then we'll be learning the commands like DDL commands like create, alter, drop, truncate. We go with DML commands like insert, update, delete. Then we go with DQL commands like select command. Then even we discuss about TCL commands like commit, rollback, save point. Then we discuss about constraints like primary key, constraints, and we go with the SQL joins. So these are the topics what we'll be covering under MySQL. Right? The next one. The next module is module 5, where we discuss advanced Java, or even we call it as Java EE. Java EE stands for Java Enterprise Edition. Java EE stands for what? Java Enterprise Edition. Right? Now, just a second. what is the main use of going with this Java EE is use it to develop dynamic web pages, or you can say use it to develop web applications. Dynamic web applications. So what are web applications? Like you can might have seen like Amazon, Book My Show, IRCTC, Facebook, all these are web applications. To develop this, we make use of this Java EE. And in our course, we'll be learning about JDBC, Java Database Connectivity, Servlets, and JSP. So nowadays, we should have a basic idea on these concepts, because in reality, we are not using these concepts more, but to enter into frameworks, to understand frameworks, these are the prerequisites. So without having knowledge on these three topics, so entering into frameworks is difficult for us. The next and very important module, that is module 6, frameworks. This is the main part of our course. Module 6, that is frameworks. In our course, we are going to learn the frameworks, like we learn about Hibernate framework. We go with Spring framework and Spring Boot. We learn about Spring framework and Spring Boot. Here we'll be going with the modules like Spring Core module. We understand about dependency injection and inversion of control, which we call IOC. Then we go with Spring Boot introduction. We'll understand about Spring Boot starters. Then we'll understand about developing a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer. Using Spring Initializer, spelling is correct only, ZR, not ZDR, Spring Initializer. Then we'll be learning developing a Spring Boot application using STS. STS means Spring Tool Suite. Then we'll be going with Spring JDBC module, even we call Spring DAO module, database connections here. So to understand this Spring JDBC module, the prerequisite is JDBC. To understand Hibernate also, the prerequisite is JDBC. Then we go with Spring Data JPA module. This is also for database connections. Then we go with Spring Web MVC module. This is used to develop web applications. So to understand this Spring Web MVC module, the prerequisite is Servlets and JSP. Next, we go with Spring REST module. The use of Spring REST module is used to develop REST APIs. The meaning of REST APIs is it's for distributed applications. The meaning of distributed is application to application interaction. One application can communicate to other application. One application can communicate to another application. Application to application communication we do by using REST module, REST APIs we develop. Then we go with next one, Spring Security module, very important. Spring Security module used to secure REST APIs. Then one more, Spring AI module. We go with Spring AI module. Then we even learn generative AI. Generative AI using Spring AI, right? So these are the topics what we'll be covering under Spring Framework. Very important, right? So at the end of the class, I'm going to provide all the details. Okay, everyone. everything I'm going to elaborate about our course, everything at the end of the class. The duration, how you are going to get the notes, recordings, everything I'm going to elaborate. So please stay back over here. Next, even we discuss microservices using Spring Boot, right? So remember, microservices is not a framework, it's an architecture. And we develop this microservices using Spring Boot. Next, Module 7, we go with real-time and DevOps tools. Right, we go with the tools like Maven, we go with GitHub, Lombok, Postman, JUnit, Log4j, Docker, like this, right? Yeah. The next and very important model, that is we go with full stack Java project using Spring Boot, microservices as backend. So we make use of Spring Boot and microservices as backend and Angular as frontend. And Angular as frontend. Okay. Now, so what are the models we are going to discuss? This is the complete course details. Like, have divided this course totally into 8 modules, like core Java, AI tools, web technologies, database concepts, advanced Java, frameworks, real-time and DevOps tools, full stack Java project. And I've elaborated about each and every module in detail. The complete duration of this course goes for 3 months. You can consider approximately 60 hours. I can easily complete this. I'm doing since 15 years all these things. Then coming to time, the classes will be from Monday to Friday. The classes will be from Monday to Friday at 6 p.m. IST. The classes will be from Monday to Friday at 6 p.m. IST, and the class I'll go with maximum 1 hour. Max. I never cross 1 hour. I'll complete within 1 hour. So I'll go with logical end. Then class notes. Okay, source codes, recordings will be shared within 3 hours. Within 3 hours after the class. Okay, because continuously I'm having the classes. So once I complete all the classes, I'll be taking care of sharing same day. I'm going to share in the same day within maximum 3 hours. I'm going to share the class notes, whatever I'm typing, everything I'll be sharing, the diagrams, and in future, whatever the programs I write, I'll be sharing this. Even the class is getting recorded, the recordings will be shared to you. Okay, and these are all lifetime access. So the meaning of lifetime access is whatever I'm sharing to you, you can download on your local machine. So once you download on your local machine, that means they are with you only. There are lifetime access to you, right? Go to meeting link is permanent. Meaning whatever the link we are having to join this session, this link is permanent till end of the course. Till end of course, this link is permanent. You can use same link to join our classes, right? Then, in order to get this class notes recordings to your email ID, what you need to do is please send a test mail suggested using Gmail, suggestion only, to rajonlinejava@gmail.com. This is my email ID for communication. This is my email ID for communication. Okay, I'm even sending through chat message to everyone. You can copy my email ID from chat also, or take a screenshot of this, or make a note anywhere. My email ID for communication in order to share notes, source codes and recordings. My email ID is rajonlinejava@gmail.com. So once we close the class today, please all of you send a test mail to this email ID. And even mention your name. What you need to mention? Name. Okay. The name and your contact number. Contact number. Or you can even mention WhatsApp number. Okay. So you can even mention the WhatsApp number. Right. So all of you don't miss out. If you send the test mail only, I can take care of sending the recordings to you every day. So don't miss out. Please send a test mail, and in the mail you mention your name and your contact number. Okay, all these details are enough for me. Right? So anyone having any questions? Right? So hope you have taken the note of my email ID, and let me close for today. And in tomorrow's session, I'm going to start with the topic, that is programming concepts. So before we enter into any programming language, we should have a basic idea on these programming concepts. So in tomorrow's session, I'm going to discuss about this programming concepts. Right? So thank you very much. Thank you all, and use same meeting link to join class tomorrow. Right?